Chapter 8, Lesson 5 is angles of elevation and depression. An angle of elevation is the angle formed by a horizontal line and the line of sight to an object above the horizontal line. So for an example, here's an observer, okay? Anytime you have a person, there's always a horizontal line of sight. Now, if the person also looks up, okay, that line looking up, as well as your horizontal line of sight, creates what we call an angle of elevation. Okay. A person can also look down. Okay, so again, anytime you have a person, you have a horizontal line of sight. And if the person looks down, the angle formed by the horizontal line of sight and the line going down is called an angle of depression. So again, an angle of depression is the angle formed by a horizontal line and the line of sight to an object below that horizontal line. So we're going to be solving some problems that deal with angle of elevation and angle of depression. Okay? The hardest part is drawing a picture, but once you draw a picture, we're going to use the same rules of trigonometry that we did in 8.4 to find the missing length or angle. So problem number 1, Leah wants to see a castle in an amusement park. She sees the top of the 190-foot castle when she looks up at an angle of elevation of 38 degrees. If Leah is 5.5 feet tall, how far is she from the castle to the nearest foot? Now, there is a picture to us off to the side, but I feel like it's kind of hard to see, okay? So I'm going to draw a picture to the left as well, just so we have a better idea of what's taking place, okay? So we have a castle, okay? And we know this castle is 190 feet tall, okay? Now we have Leah out here to the side, and Leah is 5.5 feet tall. Now from Leah, we have a horizontal line of sight going to the castle and a line of sight that looks up to the top of the castle. Okay. Now we need to determine how far away Leah is from the castle. Now we're told that we have an angle of elevation of 38 degrees. So from her horizontal line of sight and her line of sight looking up to the top of the castle, that's 38 degrees. Now, in order to find x, we need to know the length of this side right here. Now, the whole castle from the ground to the top is 190 feet, but Leah, from the ground to her eyes, is 5.5 feet. So the length of this opposite side of the triangle is 190 minus 5.5. So I'm going to take 190 minus 5.5. So the length of this opposite side is 184.5 feet. Now I'm going to use trigonometry to find how far she is from the castle. Okay, my angle is 38 degrees. If I go straight across, this makes 184.5 the opposite side, and x is the adjacent side. Okay, so for opposite and adjacent, I'm going to use tangent. So I know that the tangent of 38 degrees is equal to the opposite side, it's 184.5, divided by the adjacent side, x. I'm going to solve this equation for x. Okay, the opposite of dividing by x is to multiply both sides by x. Okay, so we have x times the tangent of 38 degrees is equal to 184.5. Okay. Next, I'm going to divide both sides by tangent 38. Okay, on the left side, tangent 38 divided by tangent 38 is 1, it cancels. So we have x is equal to, and I'm going to take 184.5 and divide that by the tangent of 38 degrees. Okay. And we get to the nearest foot, that's the nearest whole number, 236 feet. Very good. Okay, I would like for you to pause the video and try number 2. Okay, once you get stuck or you come up with an answer, hit play and let's check. Okay, so problem number 2, the crossbar of a goalpost is 10 feet high. If a field goal attempt is made 25 yards from the base of the goalpost and the ball clears the goal by 1 foot, what is the smallest angle of elevation at which the ball could have been kicked? Okay. So it sounds like we are playing football and we have a goalpost. Okay, now I know the crossbar from here to here is 10 feet. And in order to make it, we need to kick it 1 foot above the crossbar. Okay, so the football that I'm going to kick is out here on the ground. Okay. And I know that the height that I need to kick the ball is 10 plus 1, that's 11 feet. Okay, the field goal attempt is made 25 yards from the base of the goalpost. I need to determine the angle of elevation, which is this angle right here. Okay. Now, before I can use my trig functions, I have to realize that 25 is yards and 11 is feet. Okay, I need to have the same unit of measure. Now, I know there's 3 feet in 1 yard. Okay, so in order to find how many feet 25 yards are, I'm going to take 25 yards. And I'm going to multiply that by 3 feet, which is equivalent to 1 yard. Okay. Put this over 1, cancel. 25 times 3 feet is 75 feet. 1 times 1 is 1. So that means my 25 yards is equivalent to 75 feet. Okay. Now from X, 11 is the opposite side, 75 is the adjacent side. Opposite over adjacent is tangent. So the tangent of my angle X is equal to the opposite side, 11, divided by the adjacent side, 75. To find the angle, we use tangent inverse. So X is equal to tangent inverse of my fraction, 11/75. So I'm going to plug this into my calculator. Second, tangent inverse, 11 divided by 25. I'm sorry, try that again. Second, tangent inverse, 11 divided by 75. Puts my angle at approximately 8.3 degrees. Very good. Okay, problem number 3. Okay, a search and rescue team is airlifting people from the scene of a boating accident when they see another person in need of help. The angle of depression to the other person is 42 degrees, and the helicopter is 18 feet above the water. What is the horizontal distance from the rescuers to the person in need? Okay, so we have our rescuers. Thinking of a helicopter. Okay, there's our helicopter. And they are rescuing people in the water. So there's my person in the water. Now, the people in the helicopter see the person in the water. So from the helicopter, we have a horizontal line of sight and a line going down looking at the person. Okay, this is an angle of depression because it's formed by the horizontal line of sight and the line going down to the people. Now, the actual triangle does not include the angle of depression. Now, we know that the helicopter is 18 feet above the water. We want the horizontal distance to the rescuers in need. Okay, so one of the biggest mistakes ever made is we put the angle of depression inside the triangle. An angle of depression is always located outside of the triangle. Now, these two angles here and here are complementary because if I draw this line down, it creates a rectangle. Okay, and we know that rectangles have 4 right angles. So to find the angle inside of the triangle, I'm going to take 90 minus 42. If I take 90 minus 42, then the angle inside the triangle is 48 degrees. And that's the angle I'm going to use to solve for x. Now, from 48 degrees, x is the opposite side. 18 is the adjacent side. Okay. Opposite and adjacent is tangent. So I know that the tangent of 48 degrees is equal to the opposite side divided by the adjacent side, or x divided by 18. The opposite of dividing by 18 is multiplying. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 18. So I have 18 times the tangent of 48 degrees is equal to x. So I'm going to plug that into my calculator. So I have 18 times the tangent of 48 degrees. You hit equal to, I would say x is approximately 20, what's my unit? 20 feet. Very good. Okay, I would like for you to pause the video and attempt problem number 4. Okay, when you are finished, hit play and we'll go through it together. So problem number 4, a lifeguard is watching a beach from a line of sight 6 feet above the ground. She sees a swimmer at an angle of depression of 8 degrees. How far from the tower is the swimmer to the nearest foot? Okay, so as you can see, we have our horizontal line of sight, her line of sight looking down, which creates your angle of depression. But remember, the triangle is located right here. Okay. Now, we know that the lifeguard tower, the lifeguard, is 6 feet above the ground. And we want to know how far away from the tower is the swimmer. Here's my swimmer, so I'm trying to find this distance. And in order to find that, I need the angle inside the triangle. So I'm going to take 90 minus 8, which is 82 degrees. This is the angle inside of the triangle. Okay, from 82 degrees, x is the opposite side, and 6 is the adjacent side. So I'm going to use tangent. So tangent 82 degrees is equal to, the opposite side is x, the adjacent side is 6. Okay, I'm going to solve for x. The opposite of dividing by 6 is to multiply both sides by 6. Okay, that cancels. So we have 6 times the tangent of 82 degrees equal to x. So on my calculator, I'm going to take 6 times the tangent of 82, hit equal to, and that means the swimmer to the nearest foot. So 42, The number after is 6. I'm going to round 42 up to 43. So the lifeguard is 43 feet away from the swimmer. Very good. We're going to end our 8.5 notes right here. Okay, in the homework that you're going to attempt, the homework is 90% less than 8.4. And then there's 2 problems, one angle of elevation and one angle of depression from 8.5. Good luck.